Project79 here. We are back again today with another SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z action figure review. Today we are taking a look at Frieza's daddy, King Code. Very excited to finally get this figure in. We missed the pre-order for P Bandite. I know his regular retail was like $150 plus all the taxes and shipping and stuff was probably like $175, $180 for most people. So we had to go secondhand market. We hit the Bay, my favorite Bay, the eBay. We ended up paying about $230 for it. We were lucky enough to win an auction. Plus the shipping played about $250 for it in total. So a little bit over what I would have liked to have paid, but you know, I'm just fortunate enough to have had the funds to drop to go ahead and add this iconic character to the museum. So this is a huge box, probably the biggest box of an action figure I have had since I got Great Ape Vegeta in. I know probably the biggest SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figure in is probably Porunga. We actually skipped that one because it technically wasn't an action figure, it was just a statue. But King Code is obviously an action figure, so that's why we went on ahead and wanted to add him to the pantheon of characters that we got going on here. So, okay, I'm not going to go through this brown box. Let's go ahead and let's crack this baby open. Right, this is the actual dimensions of the core brown box that he comes in. I'm not going to do too much of this one here. He's still big for sure, but looks like they had to pack him in the bigger box to actually ship him safely, so I can definitely appreciate that. That's why would be my assumption on why a lot of the third-hand toy companies are having to exaggerate their shipping prices and make people pay that extra $32 to be able to ship this guy. So it's the name of the game, man. I get it. So this guy was huge, so probably why, you know, P Bandai didn't clearly justify how much it would cost to ship this guy properly. So, you know, I mean, I don't want my action figure broken throughout the process of getting it shipped across the world. So, you know, I'd rather it get here safely than, you know, just having to pay that extra arm and a leg to make sure it gets there, than rather than end up with a broken action figure. So, all right, let's crack it open. Now, after 3 minutes, he's finally out of the brown box. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's get a look at him here. Just the automatic spectacle. He is humongous. He really is. Easily the second biggest figure I've ever had in my collection, for sure. At least when it comes to Dragon Ball. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on that big brown doo-doo spot right there. That's what is happening here. What's happening here? It's like he fell in some crap. And he got a spot on his knee there, his thigh, shin guard. Okay, let's hope that can scrape off there. Bandai Tamashii Nations Dragon Ball Z Toy official logo. Artwork there looks good. Fantastic. Spin it to the side. Comes with Trunks' sword. Blast. I wonder if the sword is going to be like a bigger scale than Trunks' actual sword that the trunk comes with to make it make sense. We'll see. Nothing on this side. Let's spin it to the back here. From the back here, King Code, Super Style Heroic Action. Got him. He comes with his throne, so very excited to see that. Cyborg Frieza. Obviously, we got that in our collection. We'll do some comparisons. Standing up straight, super modeling, key blast hand, holding Trunks' sword. Looks good, man. Super action. Bandai Namco. Okay, that's enough. Finally, let's crack this baby open. Let's really get started here. Thanks for being patient. And now we're back finally. And now we have our King Code out of the package. And look at that. Comes out spectacularly. Really does. Shiny. Definition. Really enjoying that. Comes with some shading on the shoulder, bicep area, shin guards, arm, wrist, gauntlets. Comes out good. Really liking the armor from the chest plate here. Underwear. Thigh muscles, knee gaps. Comes out good, really does, man. Comes with the pieces of the cape here. Got 3 separate pieces. We'll put that together here shortly. Arms folded. It comes with an extra helmet here. I think the only difference kind of seeing probably one specifically set up for one of the specific heads. We'll go through that here shortly. With the tail here, very nice. Looks like the tail comes with its own articulation. The Code Force throne seat here, very nice. Comes with the Trunks sword, very nice. This sword is huge. The sword holding hands, resting hands, and some key blasting hands. Let's spin him to the side here. Comes out good, really liking that. Then we'll spin him to the back. As you can see, comes with peg holes to plug in the cape and the tail here. Really enjoying that. First thing I want to do is show you the scaling of this sword compared to a 1.0 Trunks. It's a little large. So obviously it does not scale correctly with the Trunks. We'll go ahead and we'll take the tail here and we will plug that in like such. And twist that around, flip it around, and curl it around him. Comes out good. Really enjoying that already. Very nice. To plug in the cape here, you take our top piece here, simply just take that, plug it in, such. Flip it around first, like such. Just make sure you line it up properly, like such. Then you can take either the bottom piece here with the full, and it would simply plug into the back of the cape like this. Or you can take, if you want to do more of a dynamic pose, you can take this piece here and you can kind of curve it up over top of the tail so that the tail can sit properly. This is most likely for the one if you want to sit him down in the chair here. So, I mean, I'm just guessing, but that would be my educated guess. This can plug in just as easily into the fig as well. And first, let's do the big one here so we can test out the articulation with the cape actually on the figure, like such. It comes out good. With our finished product, this is what he is going to look like with cape, tail intact. So ultimately, that is a beautiful piece. It really is aesthetically pleasing, absolutely for sure. Zoom in there. Is he missing? Where's his eyes at? There they are. Can barely kind of see them with that, but they're there, barely. So comes out good though, it really does. I'm really enjoying that for sure. Okay, let's go ahead, let's run through his articulation here, man. All right, this guy's huge, but we're just gonna wing it here, so just stay with me. Head, tilt, tilt, rotate. 360 degrees with the neck. I'm not gonna force that. The head is rotating with the neck peg. You just rotate that off, honestly. But let's make sure we keep the neck straight on there. The neck is on a ball peg here. This can be rotated 360 degrees. But I'm not gonna do all that. Let's lift the shoulder piece up there so you can get full range of articulation on the shoulder. It can be pushed up, push down, push it to the front, push it to the back. Rotate that 360 degrees. Nice. Bicep swivel, 360 degrees. Hulking figure, he really is. He has the standard shoulder blade back for SH Figuarts to give him that added articulation. Elbow joint, push all the way up, down. Wrist gauntlet can be rotated 360 degrees. Wrist rotated 360 degrees in itself. Be pushed upwards, downwards, and no tilts. Put the head back on here. Chest can be tilted to the left, tilted to the right. On the ball peg, push forward, push backwards, kind of a little bit, not a whole lot. Definitely has some wiggle room for it, for sure, though. Can we rotate the ab? Rotate it to the left, to the right. Feels like it could go. I don't want to force that, so just don't force it, man. There's no need for that. But as you can see, it can be pushed to the left and to the right. And can also be crunched as well. And pushed backwards slightly. Leg, kick that forward, kick it backwards, kind of. All these little brown spots, I don't know where they came from, but they were easily cleaned off though. Just grabbed a little wet wipe, I was able to knock those out. Knee joint all the way back, thigh, rotate 360 degrees, oh, bless it. Or just snatch the leg off, destructo disc. Let's put that back on here. Leg was easily snapped back on. Thigh, like I said, rotate 360 degrees. Knee joint, you saw that. Ankle, rotate to 360 degrees. can tilt it to the inwards, tilt it to outwards, push down on there, and you can push it up. No articulation in the toes, kind of unfortunate. So make sure you position it right so he can stand up. Tail, he has a ball pack here, push down, up. As you can see, this piece can be rotated 360 degrees. This shows a little bit more articulation at the tip of the tail here. And he also has one more bend at the top of the tail here that can be pushed upwards, down, and also rotated 360 degrees. And same here at the end of the tail connecting to the torso, can be rotated 360 degrees as well. So make sure you position that right. He is top heavy with this huge tail and the cape here so that he doesn't fall backward once you get your pose ready. You can definitely utilize the tail to balance him. Probably what I'm going to end up doing so that he doesn't take a tumble on the shelf. And with the cape, as you've been seeing or noticing, does have articulation as well. It can be pushed upwards, pushed downwards. With this piece as well, you should definitely be able to push that upwards and downwards as well. Switch out some hands here, kind of show you how to do that. Tell you what, we'll test out this one first here. So just simply, the butterfly is acting like it was trying to split apart when I was trying to pull this out. So just make sure you're careful with it, don't break it. There we go, just ever so simply and slightly. Then we'll snug to get this in here, but okay. As you see, once you get that in there, it's good. Works out good, man. So now let's take this extra helmet here, and then we can take one of our extra faces and simply plug, make sure you line up the pegs here. Plug that in here as such, like that. It comes out good, dude. Then we can unplug the head, like we did before, this time on purpose. And take our head and just simply plug that in. I would put the face plates into the head first before you're trying to line up the head. That's just easier in my opinion. There we go. Make sure you hear a snap. Once you hear that, you know it's in there properly. Comes out good. Really liking that. Okay, now let's test out the sword here. Let's get that plugged in. Let's see how this works here. All right, first things first, as I suspected, you can take the bottom piece of the sword here. You're gonna wanna unplug that. That's your first step so that you can get the hands in onto the sword. That's gonna make your life a whole lot easier, trust me. Next, what you wanna do is think about how you would hold a sword. So you're either gonna wanna line the two fists up on top of one another from right to left like this, or if you want to have him left-handed, you're going to want to line the left one adjacent to the right one on top of this, like such. So, like I said, think about how you hold a sword. You're not going to hold a sword like, I don't know, with your hands backward like this. It's either going to be your left hand on top of your right hand like this, or your right hand on top of your left hand like this. Geometry, people, geometry. So we're going to want to take our sword handle and stick this on top of this of our hand, push it all the way in, and then push it here. You're gonna make sure, if you want to hold him, have him hold it with two hands, you make sure it's lined up properly so that it can fit, you know. And then you take our bottom piece and make sure you get that lined up, plug that in. Follow those simple steps, and then you will have your trunk sword added on to King Code. Obviously, this little predicament led to his death, but it is very cool to see him holding on to this sword in action figure form, man. Definitely a character that I never thought in a million years that we would get a figure for, but I'm happy for it. Kind of spent a little bit more money than I was willing to spend for him, but it is what it is. You know, I definitely get it with this amount of plastic that went into this guy. Definitely makes a bit of sense. Speaking of that, let's tell you what, let's do some height comparisons here really fast. Yeah, look at that, man. So we definitely brought out our cyborg Frieza and put him up against his daddy here. Comes out good, man. It is definitely cool to see how much bigger King Cold is standing next to his fellow Dragon Ball brethren. Got him next to the boy from the future, him, his Undoing. Pretty cool, this Trunks. Man, this Trunks was such a cool looking figure, but not such an issue with it. It's cool to see the comparisons of these two swords here. You know, obviously this sword is to fit scale to Trunks. This sword is to fit scale with the King Code. I feel like even like in the anime, they like drew the sword bigger to fit his hand better than they did, you know, when they were drawing it to fit Trunks' hand. It's so weird, but you know, cartoon logic. What are you gonna do with it? All right, and now we are back, and now we have our King Code and our final pose. Haven't decided if I'm gonna pose him on the shelf like this. Actually, I probably am, man. This is looking really good. It really is. Got him in his throne seat, man, with our cyborg Frieza, the front there. That comes out really good. I even put him with the sword here. Really, really liking that. That's cool. That's my favorite pose that I came up with so far. No, we still have these folded arms here. I don't care, dude. I ain't doing all that. You know, if you've seen one pair of folded arms on a Dragon Ball figure, you've seen them all. I ain't unplugging the arms or anything like that. I'm sorry. But yeah, man, this is a really cool figure. I don't know if he was worth the $250 I paid for him in the aftermarket prices. Honestly, I don't even know if he'd be worth the $175 that the retail value is going for him. I mean, I get it. Logistically, with the amount of plastic that's in here, it makes sense. It's a little bit more expensive for my taste, especially for a character such as King Code. It is what it is. I get it. Ultimately, I am happy for my purchase. So, okay, that's going to do it for this one, man. So let's go ahead and let's move him to the museum, and we will begin to close out here. All right, my friends, and now we're back, and now we have our King Code added onto the shelf. We're able to fit him behind all of our Frieza figures. Comes up really good. I know it's kind of tough to see a lot of them. For King Code, our second form, third form, first form, final form, cyborg 100%, golden, metal cooler, final form cooler, Zarbon Dodoria, Ginyu Force, Grade A Vegeta. We already have a spot for final form Zarbon. He's going to go where that golden cooler is. Yeah, Frieza Force Chef, full effect. Gotta love it, man. We did take his chair. We sat that just right here in the front here. I didn't have a spot for that on the Frieza Force shelf, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I'm just happy that I was able to find a spot for this huge figure on this shelf with so many figures. Oh my goodness, man. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that I would ever amass this amount of action figures, that the anime that I have loved for almost 30 years now. It is really a spectacle. I'm so grateful for it. And man, I am so happy that you guys have taken this journey with me. I really am. Now, do I recommend this figure? Sure. Only to the most diehard of diehard Dragon Ball figures. But I feel like I've been saying that a lot lately. We definitely have had all of our core characters for years now at this point. The only thing we're really getting is repaints, reskins of the most popular characters, and the brand new characters that we're getting. I mean, they're definitely secondary, third, and fourth dairy characters. I mean, it's just as simple as that. But I'm happy to get some of them. I really am. Some of them I don't really care to get. But King Code specifically, he's a part of the Frieza Force. He was kind of a core character to start the Trunks saga. So I have fond memories of him. So that's why we went on ahead and spent the money to add him. Kiwi, on the other hand, nah, bro. Come on. I'm good. So if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Hit that like button. I would really appreciate that. If you follow the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figures, if you're a fan of action figures, Dragon Ball, or SH Figuarts in general, you're definitely in the right place. I tend to review at least 90% of the Dragon Ball action figures that are released from this line. So you can follow me at youtube.com/marjack79. I am also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, my friends, I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for the support. Almost at 60,000 subscribers, man. So crazy. I will see y'all on the next one. Catch y'all later.